ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Friday, June 19th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Chop at 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. Scheduled to appear today, Peyton Ilderton. She's going to join us in the next few minutes. We'll talk to her about her new position with the Thundering Herd. Until then, we will open up that text line for you. And let me give that number one more time. It's 304-396-8255. Big day for Marshall Athletics as we've got the latest list, 9 new inductees for the Thundering Herd and the Hall of Fame. And some of these names are very familiar to Herd fans. I think we've got to go all the way back to 1988 for Kelly Beckelheimer Wood. What an outstanding volleyball player she was. She's probably the most veteran on this list. Most of these names come from recent memory, to be fair. Men's golf, you have Christian Brand, John Elmore, Johnny Buckets right there from the 2015 to 2019 years. Shayna Gore, she could be Shayna Buckets as far as I'm concerned. Of course, she is now with Youngstown State. Looking forward to seeing her come back. So she's representing women's basketball. She was also at Marshall from 2015 to 2019. We got to go back a little bit ways. If you haven't heard this name in a while, it's Mario Harvey, football representative from 2007 to 10. Michaela Kissel, tennis representative, all the way back to 2009 through 2011. Another well-deserving football representative, Cody Slate, football player. Well, we all know Cody Slate, 2005 to 2009. And then, I don't know if you know this one, Morgan Zirkle, softball player. She's a professional softball player now, and I think that she might also be the current coach of the Thundering Herd. I could be wrong, but of course, Coach Z played softball for the Thundering Herd from 2014 to 2017. And, of course, coming back to be the head coach of the Thundering Herd. So far, so good for her. So all of these are worthy inductees into the Marshall Hall of Fame class of 2026. We'll find out more about the details as we get closer to the actual induction. They're going to be honored during a luncheon that's going to take place at noon on September 12th prior to Marshall's home opener against Middle Tennessee. That's at 7 o'clock. So they'll be here well before that. They'll be honored, and then they'll be at the game for everyone to see. They might even be on the tailgate lot a few hours early before kickoff. So we'll find out more about what the ceremony looks like. We'll talk a little bit more about all of these inductees and their career with the Thundering Herd. That's a big list. Dare I ask, how would you rank this list? Who's 1? Who's 2? Who's 3? Who's your top 5? How do you rank this? I mean, dare I say this? Or where would you rank these individuals in their respective sport? John Elmore, one of the greatest ever to play at Marshall men's basketball uniform. Shayna Gore, probably one of the greatest to play in a Marshall women's basketball uniform. I think that's fair. Coach Z, I can't say anything else about her other than she's definitely one of one. This is an impressive list. I don't think you can look at this list and have a fault with any individual. And I know there's always someone that you think should have got in, and that's going to be a year-to-year debate. Every time that these lists come out, these are the latest inductees to be part of the Hall of Fame. So when they come in, you look at the list and you wonder, well, who else could be inducted? Who else should be on the list? So this is a good list, though. I don't think you can take anyone off. I don't know who you would take off for someone else. Of course, if you're looking at basketball, John Elmore, definitely one of the all-time greats. Still continues to this day be a positive representative for the Thundering Herd in every endeavor that he has undertaken. Shayna Gore, of course. There are some people hoping that one day that she might be the head coach of the Marshall Thundering Herd. That's down the line. That's many, many years into the future. But there have been some that have said, hey, wouldn't it be great if Shayna Gore one day in her coaching career could come back and be the head coach of the Thundering Herd? Well, there's another young lady that maybe one day she could come back and be the head coach of the Thundering Herd, and that's Peyton Ilderton. She was named Marshall's assistant director of operations for the women's basketball team. Of course, she had a tremendous career with the Thundering Herd. Definitely someone who's going to be a candidate many years from now to be an inductee into the Hall of Fame. But she's going to be staying with the Thundering Herd. You remember what she just wrapped up her career. 82 three-pointers. That was fourth most in a single season in program history. She's top 10 in three-pointers over the last 4 years. That is top 10 in team history, tied for ninth. And she was a walk-on. So she did it the traditional way. She walks on, earns a scholarship, and she appeared in 121 games. Now she's going to continue passing on what she's learned, what it means to be a Marshall basketball player, as she will move into the role of assistant director of basketball operations. So we're going to talk to her in the next few minutes, but we're going to talk to you as well. That text line, again, is 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. What do some of these names mean to you that are inducted? And, of course, you might have to go a little bit back for Kelly Beckelheimer-Wood. You might have to go a little bit back for her years as a volleyball player. But you don't have to go too far back for the rest of these individuals. So who stands out to you? Who are you excited for? What's your favorite John Elmore memory? What's your favorite Cody Slate memory? Or your favorite Shayna Gore memory? You've got a long list here of inductees to talk about for the next several months before they are inducted, and we'll do that. As well as we're going to keep an eye on what's happening in the World Cup. United States taking on Australia right now. Looking pretty good for the good old US of A against Australia. We'll give you that score later on in the program. Our text line, one more time before we hit the break, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
For one night only, 9th Street becomes Shakedown Street. 9th Street is Dead this Friday, June 19th, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center on the Marshall OBGYN stage at Moses Auto Mall of Huntington, 9th Street Live. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Experience a night of iconic songs, epic jams, and a community that knows how to keep the music alive. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for July 10th, and enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th, sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, The Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kindred Communications.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's KNBPestControl.com online, and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to KNBPestControl.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. K&B Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at K&B Pest Control.
Save big money on your next painting project when you shop at Menards. Get long-lasting color with Pittsburgh's grand distinction exterior paint and primer in one. It's highly dirt-resistant and provides a mildew-resistant coating. Save big money in all Pittsburgh paints. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life. 1 gallon at a time. Stop by your local Menards and get your project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
This feeling is brought to you by Aleve for Arthritis Pain Relief. What feeling is that? Well, it's the feeling you feel when you have relief from arthritis pain. It's that my hands don't hurt just holding things feeling. That, wow, I can actually move well feeling. You know, that go about your day without worrying about every little movement or ache feeling. Oh, yeah. Because Aleve targets arthritis pain at the source of inflammation for long-lasting relief, so you can keep moving through it. Feel up to 12 hours of arthritis pain relief with 1 dose. Feel Aleve. Use is directed for minor arthritis pain.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue with this Friday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line open and brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We will talk a little bit more about the Hall of Fame class later on with you, but I'm excited to welcome to the program, again, she has been named the Assistant Director of Operations for the Marshall women's basketball team. Peyton Ilderton is with us, and first of all, congratulations. I know you have to be excited. You get to stick with the Herd for many, many more years.
Yes, no, it's a great experience, and I'm really thankful that I get to stay at Marshall and just be around basketball. And I love being around our coaching staff and just being with the girls that I played with last year, and then with the addition of new girls. It's been really fun since I've started.
Was there a moment in your career when you started thinking, hey, maybe I want to do this instead of playing further or trying to continue your professional career on the court? Coaching, did you get that bug early, or was that something that came most recently?
I would say it came recently. Coaching and being a part of like a college basketball staff really wasn't a goal of mine, but playing with Julie and just talking to her, I think that she saw something in me that this might be something that I'm good at, and we talked about it, and just like seeing her perspective on basketball and the game, it made me more interested in it. So, yeah, it's definitely recent, but I've really enjoyed it so far, and I think as the season goes, I'll enjoy it even more.
So you're the Assistant Director of Basketball Operations. What exactly does the Assistant Director of Basketball Operations do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think it's just mostly I dabble in a little bit of everything, anything that has to do with the actual operation side that Bree, our actual Dobo, does. I'll help her with that, but I'm also involved with a lot of the basketball things too, just getting to help in practice, watch film and stuff like that. Basically anything Julie needs me to do, I'm up for it, and I always will be. So, yeah, I just kind of do a bunch of different things, whether it's basketball related or more on the operations side, but I actually enjoy both of them. So
you can still get on the court and go. That's not a question right now. You can still probably get out there and go, all right, no, this is how you do it, and show them directly.
Yeah, I think that's also something that I've really enjoyed, getting to teach players things, and just like whenever it clicks for them, it's a great feeling to know that I'm helping them, because so many coaches have poured into me. So it's nice to be able to do the same for others.
You've had an interesting trajectory. You've been under several coaches, and this is probably the most stability you've had in a long while with your basketball career. But I feel like you've benefited from, if you can benefit from having different voices under such a compressed timeline. You know, what's that done for you to have different perspectives, to kind of see how one coach does it, then the next year another coach does it, and now with Julie, you know, with back-to-back years?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing I've had 3 different coaches is just being able to adapt. It's definitely taught me a lot about that aspect of it, just because every coach I've played for has been so different. So I've definitely learned different things from each coach, but just having to go from one thing to another, and it's systems that are completely different, it's definitely just taught me to adapt to whatever environment I'm in, which I think definitely helps with basketball, because everything is adapting, whether it's game plans, your day-to-day basis is going to be different. You might have one plan and then have to do something different. So it's definitely taught me a lot, just kind of go with the flow type of thing, because I'm usually I need it laid out for me. But I've learned a lot these past 4 years at Marshall, being a player, just being with different leaders.
Julie, of course, very big into the analytics and everything like that. So I feel like she loves to lay it out. But you're going to be working with Brianna Ellis. Bree has been a tremendous asset for the Thundering Herd. What's that relationship like going into this, and what do you expect from her as she moves up to director of basketball operations?
Yeah, I think Bree is going to be amazing. I thought she did an amazing job last year, even as assistant DOBO, but she's just got such a great personality. She comes to the gym every day, and she's always positive, and she just brings a smile to everybody's face, and she's really good at her job. I know that she was director of operations at her school before Marshall, and I'm sure she's going to do a great job here, and all the players really respect Bree, so I'm excited to work with Bree this year and just learn different things about the operations side with her.
Any tips she already given you, kind of like, okay, here's how you need to do it, here's what you should look out for? What's her guidance been?
She just kind of has taken me under her wing. I just kind of follow her around, but she's been so busy these past couple of weeks, just with practice starting back up and everything, camps and practice and all that. So I've just kind of been watching her do her thing and learning from just watching her on a day-to-day basis.
What are some of the first things you've already had a chance to do? I know recruiting is a big part of that. You can't comment on specific student athletes, but from being recruited to being someone who goes out and recruits, what's that transition like for you?
Yeah, I feel like as a player, you don't realize how much goes into it. You just kind of go out there and try to put a ball through a hoop. But seeing the coaches side of it, it gives me such a respect for those that are on a coaching staff, because you don't even realize that basketball is just one part of their job, but they have to do so many other things other than it. But something that I've gotten to do is just like coaches breaking down film. I've gotten to be in those sessions, and I've learned so much already in that. And then this past couple of days, I've been on a recruiting trip because I think Julie just wants me to step my toes in the water with that and just kind of see how that the live period processes are, which was really exciting to do. So I've definitely gotten to do plenty of things in this past week that I've started my job. So I'm excited for what's to come.
Peyton Ilderton joins us. She is now the Assistant Director of Operations for the Marshall women's basketball team, of course, wrapping up her career with 82 three-pointers, which is fourth most in a single season. And, let's not forget that WNIT championship. What a way to go out. I know we've talked since, but we're a couple months removed from that now. What's that feeling like this far along now?
It's still awesome. I think about it all the time. I was catching up with a teammate from last year, and we were just talking about how great that was that we got to go out that way. And I think for me, especially being a senior, it's made the transition much easier, just ending that way. It's a fairy tale ending. So it's definitely made it much easier for me to transition into this different aspect of basketball and not be sad that I'm not out there playing. And it also helps me be able to teach like the other girls what it takes to win a championship. And so it's definitely something that I'm still really excited about. I'll always be excited about it just because it's such a great accomplishment.
We got the rings yet? What's those going to look like? Those are great to have on recruiting trips. You wear that big championship ring and it gets attention.
They're not in yet, but I'm sure that they will be soon. And I've seen pictures and they look really nice. So I'm excited for those to be here. And I'm sure that Marshall women's basketball will be showing them off. So.
As a player, was that a thing? Coaches would say, oh, yeah, check out my ring. You want to wear it? Was that a thing? Or was that something you're going to do? Like, oh, yeah, you want to check out my ring?
Whenever I went on my visits, that did not happen for me. But I will say on like all my pitches for recruiting, it is nice to be able to say that you are a championship level program. And once those rings come in, I'm sure that the coaches will definitely show those off.
Our guest is Peyton Ilderton. She is now the Assistant Director of Operations for the Marshall women's basketball team, of course, coming off that WNIT championship and a tremendous senior year. And you mentioned some of the things that you do. Recruiting is one of those. Camps are another. How's that gone so far?
It's been really good. I think that everything that I've been doing here has gone well so far. There was a lot of great kids, and I think that our players do a great job with it. So we have a lot of great personalities this year, which make that so easy. And they're all really talkative, and they can teach, and they all play really hard. So it was good. The camps were really good.
Still got that itch, I know this is a new transition for you, a new job, but you still got the itch, if I only had one more year, I'd like to play with these girls. Is that's still out there with you?
Oh, definitely, especially with all this 5-for-5 talk. Obviously, it would have been nice to get another year and get to play with those girls and just be able to be a leader for them. But I'm just blessed and grateful that I get to stick around it and be a leader in a different aspect and kind of be able to help them become that leader. But no, I still get to practice with them a little bit sometimes, so I'm still out there.
Still dropping threes on them, this is easy. Just drop a three on them and go back and play defense. Yeah, is that still happening?
It happens a little bit, maybe not as often since I'm not on the gun as much, but maybe my shot will get a little better throughout the practices.
Not going inside or anything like that. You're just popping them up and see, that's how it works. That's how it looks, and then draw it up again on the chalkboard.
Exactly, strictly 3-pointers for me.
Absolutely, that's the career right there. That's what everybody wants to do. Our guest is Peyton Ilderton. She has been named the Assistant Director of Operations, and of course, you get started now. One day, maybe down the road, you could be the next head coach of the Thundering Herd, or you could be in line for that job. Is that entered into your mind that maybe down the road that's your new dream job?
I think I would just have to see how this year goes, but so far I really like it, and coaching is something that could definitely be a possibility for me. I think that I have a personality for it, but I just think that it will be a learning curve and just seeing how the experience is for me and just taking it day by day.
Our guest, and congratulations to her, is Peyton Ilderton. She has been named the Assistant Director of Operations for Marshall women's basketball. Hey, the great news is we get to see you on game day and every day in between, so that's fantastic. And before I let you go, just as someone who has been around the program, someone who has been not just as a player, but someone who you were a walk-on. I wanted to play for Marshall. You were a walk-on, so Marshall meant something to you before you even started at Marshall. What do you hope that you're able to give back to the team and the future players, because you know what it's about?
Yeah, I love Marshall. I loved it before I started as a player here. I think that it has a community that no other mid-major has and a fan base. And, Marshall's under such great direction with our AD, Gerald, and our president, Brad Smith. So it's just they are people and leaders, and we have great leadership that make you want to pour into Marshall. So I definitely want to stick around, and even if I end up not on the coaching staff, wherever I end up, I'm definitely going to pour back into Marshall because it's given me so much in my 4 years here. So I'll definitely be pouring into this community one way or another in my future.
Peyton Ilderton is with us. Before we let you go, of course, our text line is open. Texter just wrote in and said, Paul, Peyton is great. She'll be a valuable addition for our women's coaching staff. We watched her all this past season and the season before. Such a great leader and positive role model. Go Herd. So that's from our audience, someone texting in. Just wanted to say that. So I thought I'd share before we let you go.
Well, thank you. That means so much to me, and I'm glad that others could see that outside of just our basketball team. It means a lot to me.
Peyton, you're going to be amazing at this. Congratulations, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Peyton Ilderton, again, she has been named Assistant Director of Operations for the Marshall women's basketball team, and I'm excited to see what the new team looks like, and, of course, having her roaming the sidelines, that's going to make it even more exciting. We will get more of your texts coming up. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-364-1031 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-364-1031. That's 800-364-1031. What do you have to lose? Call 800-364-1031. Again, 800-364-1031.
A celebration 250 years in the making. It's Dog Dazzle 2026. Friday, July 3rd at Harris Riverfront Park. Dog Dazzle 2026 featuring West Virginia legend Kathy Mattea.
18 wheels and a dozen roses.
Plus, special guests Bent Whiskey and Brett Mahon with the Tri-State's largest fireworks. Gates open at 5 p.m. Enjoy inflatables, ice-cold drinks from the Smokin' Jay's beer tents, food trucks, fun and family all night long. Dog Dazzle with Kathy Mattea. Get to 937thedog.com for free ticket locations. America 250. Dog Dazzle 2026. Bark on with Kathy Mattea. Friday, July 3rd. Get to Jerks at Pullman Square for the official after-show party. Dog Dazzle 2026. Presented by Gomart, Austin's Homemade Ice Cream, K&B Pest Control, Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Busch Light, the City of Huntington, the Campbell County Commission, Little Caesars, Gomart, Great Outdoors Marine, Thoroughbred Express Wash, Blinko Glass Company, Wendy's, Tudor's Biscuit World, West Virginia Appalachian Laborers District Council, Xfinity, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Twisted Tea, Encova, Kendrick Communications, and 93.7 The Dog.
Big news, Cabell County. King's Tire Service is now open on Route 60 in Ona, across from Cabell Midland. For more than 55 years, we've been serving West Virginia with automotive excellence you can trust. We do more than just sell tires. Our ASC certified technicians are ready to handle all your repairs. From your daily driver to the heavy-duty demands on the job, our philosophy at King's is simple. We never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give you more than you expect. Stop by our brand new Ona location today, or visit us at kingtireservice.com.
This is Huntington Mayor Patrick Farrell. If you haven't been downtown in a while, this is your invitation. Come see Huntington. You'll find families gathered along the river, friends sharing a meal, kids running through the park, music filling the air. You'll find a city moving forward, a city on the rise. Join us July 3rd at Harris Riverfront Park to celebrate America's birthday at Dog Dazzle. Enjoy great food, live entertainment, and fireworks over the Ohio River. Come celebrate America's birthday with us.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Baker's Waterproofing and Basement Authority of West Virginia are now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for detail.
Hometown Chevrolet, your home of the new 30-mile-per-gallon Chevy Trax and the new 3-row SUVs like the Traverse, Tahoe, and Suburban. Everything you need right here at home. Want a new truck? We have 0% financing for a full 5 years on new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500s and free oil changes for life at your hometown Chevy dealer. Our used inventory is priced to move with the quality you want at a payment that makes sense. From low APRs to rebuilding, we'll get you done. Hometown Chevrolet, Waverly, Ohio, where everybody drives home.
Well, I finally improved my credit score.
What? The band is about to be discovered. Rock gods don't need to worry about credit scores. We're supposed to think about how many guitars we've smashed, make ridiculous on-tour requests, tragically break up and blame creative differences.
Yeah, I'm not banking my retirement on a band that's never left your garage.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on with this Friday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. To our text line we go. Texter says, Paul, I haven't got to listen into the live show in a while, but love the Knicks winning the championship. Some Marshall and Huntington connections with both D'Antoni's coaching them and Huntington's own Bill Walker that played for them. Also, how much of a factor you think Danhausen was in the championship run with the LOL? So that's a good question. I appreciate the text. And, of course, let me catch everyone back up. That's maybe not following professional wrestling. Danhausen is a professional wrestler, wrestled on the independent scene for a long time, and then made his way to the upstart program, AEW. And I didn't see much of him when I was watching AEW. And so he leaves AEW and he makes it over to WWE. Now, if you've ever followed the WWE product, there's comedy in that. And Danhausen can be a great source of comedy. He's also very talented as a technical wrestler. He doesn't look like your typical wrestler. He's not built like The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin or Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. He's not built like that, but he is very proficient. And so his gimmick is you are cursed because he wears this. He's got some tattoos. He's got this like face makeup, this little clown devil look. And so he gets in it with Stephen A. Smith because ESPN has that partnership. And so they're promoting it. And I think he cursed them or cursed Stephen A. Smith. And then the Knicks didn't do so hot. And then a lot of people were like, hey, no, uncurse him. So the gimmick was, okay, I'm going to uncurse the Knicks. And then off we go. The Knicks started winning a lot. And so he's permanently uncursed them. The NBA has loved the partnership with ESPN and with the WWE. There are championship shirts out there. There's merch. There's everything. I don't think he was at the parade yesterday, but he was in New York filming something. So I think it's a happy coincidence, to be fair, or maybe not. I just don't want to get on the wrong side of Danhausen. I don't need to be cursed any more than I already am. So maybe Danhausen can uncurse me. But the Knicks doing Knicks things this season. That was pretty amazing run. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I finally got to see the New York Knicks win a championship. And now if I can get the Rangers to win one again, just win a Stanley Cup, that would be fantastic. But my ultimate goal and dream is to one day before I die see the Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl. That's my ultimate wish right now. In sports, the Cincinnati Bengals winning the Super Bowl would be the most exciting thing for me. Just as a long-term fan of the Knicks and the Bengals and a few other teams. It would just be some of the best things that I could even imagine if it happened. Appreciate the text and the opportunity. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Now, USA. Texter just said, USA just beat Australia in the World Cup in Seattle, and they're rocking and singing country roads. Great worldwide exposure for our state. Appreciate the text on that as well. Isn't that the new thing? I mean, it's been a thing for a while. It just has picked up a lot of steam. There are a lot of people just singing country roads. I mean, they don't connect that necessarily to West Virginia University, but it's become really the thing after every game to sing country roads. ESPN has amplified it. We've seen it at different sporting venues. It really paints a positive picture, I think, because you get all these fans, USA fans, you get different fans from parts of the country that, don't know anything about West Virginia. You got people from across Europe and other countries that don't know much about the United States, and West Virginia comes up in a song and they're singing about it. And it's been fun to watch social media. Now, how much of that is performative? How much of that is really genuine reaction? It's been fun to watch. Apparently, we are the world champions when it comes to stadiums. We've got the biggest gas stations in the world. We've got crazy food offerings. Maybe the quality of our food is a little less than other offerings, but we have so many more options. Just fun to see. And what's been fun about this is as people travel from different parts of the country, they see different things. I don't think the world really understood how big and diverse the United States is. So that has been fun to watch with this World Cup. I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and get my USA kit tomorrow. Not on my budget, but go USA. Always the USA when it comes to these world events. Texter says, Paul, I hope Marshall Athletics takes note of Peyton Ilderton, Coach Z, Devin Miller, and others that Marshall provides opportunities after the playing career is over. I wonder if those players that thought they'd do better elsewhere, Chase Litton, Grant Wells, Andy Taylor, or think about the opportunities that might have been. That's a good question. Peyton loved Marshall, meant something to her. She wanted to stick it out, went through a lot of transitions. It worked out in the end for her. Coach Z, we're not talking that far from her college days, but it was a different system. Marshall meant something to her. She came back, dreamed for her. Devin Miller is just as nice of a human being that you could possibly meet. I hadn't talked to him in a little bit, but the last time I saw him, I was at the FCA event, and I saw him there and I talked to him for a few minutes. And Devin is just a supremely genuine, nice guy. And I enjoy talking to him. I enjoy getting to know him a little bit better. And I will say this, I feel like with a lot of these players that are coming back and taking roles within the athletic department, that has meant a lot because we already have a connection with Peyton. Peyton's always going to be a champion at Marshall University. Coach Z is always going to be a champion at Marshall University. Devin, always going to be someone that we can talk about. He is a championship caliber guy, and we have those connections. And you know what? I liked Andy Taylor. I like Grant Wells. I like Chase Litton. I like these guys. They felt like they had to go elsewhere. I respect it. I understand it. I hope that they find those opportunities that they're looking for, and ultimately, at the end of the day, hope life is good to them. That's the only thing that I really wish for everybody. I just hope life is good to you. We will take our last break, come back, get more of your texts, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
For one night only, 9th Street becomes Shakedown Street. 9th Street is Dead this Friday, June 19th, featuring John Ingram's Dead Center on the Marshall OBGYN stage at Moses Auto Mall of Huntington, 9th Street Live. Presented by Michelob Ultra, White Claw, Big Timber, and Country Boy Brewing. Experience a night of iconic songs, epic jams, and a community that knows how to keep the music alive. The Little Caesars Kids Zone is back, and Go-Mart Happy Hour starts at 5. Enjoy 9th Street libations from the Marshall Hall of Fame Cafe, Sip Downtown Brasserie, and Summit Beer Station, featuring Tito's, Milagro Tequila, Rebel Bourbon, High Noon, and Lucky One. The after-show party takes place at Jerk Riley's at Pullman Square. Mark your calendar for July 10th and enjoy the music of the Beatles with the Newbies. The Thundering Herd Rally is Friday, August 14th, sponsored by Wendy's, Huntington Beverage Center, Sods, Apex Tech, The Great Outdoors Marine, Village Caregiving, Thoroughbred Express Wash, the City of Huntington, Marshall University, Blinko Glass Company, Marshall Health Network Arena, and Kindred Communications.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, and if you've been listening to our show over the years, we love our coffee. And over the years, we used to be okay with the big chains and all that, but we've come to love the local coffee shops, and we got a good one for you here. Coons Corner in Ironton, locally owned, got all kinds of cool stuff going on. They got like a arts and crafts works vibe going, which is super cool. Local vendors from all over the tri-state come in. They make an event out of coffee.
It's a lot more than a coffee shop. They got the sweet treats. They got the healthy drinks. They got the gourmet coffees. It is awesome. Amy, Kevin, and the whole staff are there to help you and start your day. You're going to get to be part of the family. You're going to be part of their family. There's no better vibe in the world than your morning routine starting with coffee over at Coons Corner.
Make sure you check them out. Coons Corner Sip and Shop, 1412 South 3rd Street in Ironton. Tell them Lex and Terry sent you.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 Biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 Biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 Biggie Bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 Biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
The spirit of competition. You see it throughout the community. Friends and family challenging themselves in whatever they do, giving it their all. Since 1901, Putnam County Bank is right there with you, competing for your business, stepping up for our community, and moving our region forward. That's why Putnam County Bank is proud to be your hometown bank, making our community stronger, all while striving to be the best, helping you develop and grow. That's the goal of the Putnam County Bank, PCBWV.bank.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Reyes Mexican Tanqueria and Cantina. Authentic flavors from Jalisco, Mexico. 234 3rd Avenue in Gallipolis, Ohio, and 218 General Hardinger Parkway in Middleport. The Arbors of Gallipolis, caring about you while caring for you.
When Dad needed help getting around, I became his driver. Any daughter would do the same. But soon enough, he needed help doing more things, and it was up to me to be his personal shopper and financial manager, too. And before I knew it, Dad moved in with me, so I became his cook, his personal assistant, his physical therapist, and even his nurse. When I started taking care of Dad, I didn't realize all the roles I'd have to play. But no matter what, I know I'm still his daughter.
We understand the many roles you play, and to help, we created an online caregiving resource center. At aarp.org/caregiving, you can find resources and connect with the caregiving community. Together, we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to learn more. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for all of us. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on with this Friday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking more about some of the members that will be inducted into the Marshall Hall of Fame, the class of 2026. The list has been released. This is a little bittersweet for me as well. Just on a personal note, it was Woody Woodrum's birthday a few years ago, for those of you who know Woody Woodrum, and he was always on this committee. And so this was kind of bittersweet for me. These are some of the things that I think about. I would have loved to have been able to talk to Woody about, okay, hey, why'd you go with this person this year because he was on that committee, or who are some of the people that maybe missed out? Just some of those personal conversations. But this is a great list. I think Woody would be proud. And I want to say that you've got a tremendous list. And by the way, I did unintentionally forget to mention in the Legends category, Otto Swede Gullikson, Coach Gullikson, from 1930 to 1963. That's a list right there. We don't talk, when you think of coaches at Marshall University, you think of Cam Henderson, right? But Otto was a head trainer at Marshall. He was Marshall's head trainer from 1930 to 63. Also was the coach of what was then the newly formed men's track and cross country teams from the 40s and 50s. So he did track and field. He did cross country, outdoor track, won the 1951 Ohio Valley Conference title. Professor of physical education. You can just look at some of the reasons why he's on this list. And of course, 1964, the newly built Health and Physical Education building on Marshall's campus was dedicated and named Gullickson Hall, because then 33 years of service to the Marshall community. And if you look at some of the names that get talked about, for the most part, you know Cam Henderson is. If you don't, I'll be free to educate you on that. And I go back to, we're in the 90s here. We're getting close to we're getting into the new stadium here, Marshall University Stadium. And I had someone who wasn't a resident, and we're students, and they're like, "Why is the basketball arena named after the football coach?" Because coach's name came up. We're at a game, and I'm like, "Well, here's the story. He was the football coach and the basketball coach, and he really was well known for the basketball. So he had." A lot more. I mean, he did both. He's one of the best of all time, but basketball was sort of like the thing. And you never hear anyone go, "Why is Gullickson Hall named? Why is Gullickson Hall named Gullickson Hall?" So I think this will open that up for a lot of fans. Here's one from the text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, "Paul, in my opinion, Peyton Ilderton and Meredith Mayer will go down as two of the greatest Marshall women's basketball players ever, along with Louis Utsi." Appreciate the thoughts and the opinion there. That's a big list, though, right? To be fair, that's a big list. We can go down the list and look at some of the all-time greats. And, of course, one of those all-time greats is Sheena Gorin. She's coming back to be inducted into the Marshall Hall of Fame with her tremendous career. And I love going into the Henderson Center because over the last few years, there has been that strong effort to freshen up the concourse. And then you see right there on the wall, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about her in a few years, there's little Abby Beemans. Those are scaled, right? Because, you got the Hassan Whiteside wingspan there, and you got Tavion getting the big air. And there's Abby Beeman's picture right there. There's Shayna over there as well. And it's good to see some of those names. And I hope that we see more of that. But I don't have the wingspan of Hassan Whiteside. I didn't even try to go over there to find out how wide his span is compared to mine. Texture says, "Paul, Woody was the best. Miss him." Absolutely. I do too. I thought about him a lot because his 70th birthday just passed. And so, he was somebody. Here's the real story between us. I was brought in with the directive to be basically the Antichrist to him. That was what management wanted me to do, to be the Antichrist to Woody Woodrum. Problem is, we grew to love each other. Woody and I, we got along so well, it was kind of hard to be the Antichrist to Woody Woodrum. And so it worked out for us in the end, but yeah, that was my directive: be the Antichrist to Woody Woodrum. And you can't be the Antichrist to Woody. No, come on, that's almost career suicide. Thankfully, I've recovered a little bit from that. But yeah, Woody was the best. We got along well, and he was definitely somebody that, just from a personal standpoint, I could talk to, and if I needed somebody to listen, if I needed someone to talk to, he was the guy. And sometimes, I would render those services as well. So, yeah, absolutely miss Woody. And, when his picture came up, it was his birthday. And one of my favorite pictures of him was me. In the middle of us was Raquel Ricard, Dr. Ricard's daughter, and Woody on the other end. We were outside doing our pregame show. And that's one of my favorite pictures of him that came up. So I did share that since it was his 70th birthday, and I think about him a lot. Look at his work area a lot when I'm here in the office. Sometimes 304-396-TALK is the text line. 304-396-8255. We can get a couple real quick ones in if you can get them in before we hit the final music to say good night. Thank you today. This has been a good show. This is one of the better ones we did this week. I appreciate it. I feel like I'm back into the swing of things after having a full week off for the state tournament last week. We get to Friday, and finally, it feels like I'm back. And hopefully next week we'll do it again even better. So I want to thank my guest today, Peyton Ilderton. appreciate her time coming on the show to talk a little bit about her position, and hope that it's going to be a tremendous career for her, however long she wants the job at Marshall University. And, of course, I want to thank everyone for being a part of the show today. If you miss anything today, we're going to have this posted later on our podcast. It's available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor, if you could like it, follow it, share it, spread the word. I would appreciate that. And we're going to be back with you on Monday. And we'll do it all over again right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
WRVC Huntington, W227BS Huntington, your flagship home of the Marshall Thundering Herd and The Drive with Paul Swann, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.